Ladies and gentlemen, OTAs are back in business, and not just for our guy, too, as he battles against Deshaun Watson for the available QB1 spot in Cleveland, Ohio. Nah. There's OTAs back everywhere. It seems like almost every NFL team, don't quote me on that, as the wind comes in and shakes and shatters my beautiful recording scenario. Look, I'm out in Texas. I'm visiting family. I told y'all I was a Texas fan, and what you're seeing right behind you, where we're going to start, is with Cleveland and Shedeur Sanders, as he had a miraculous touchdown. Now, what we're seeing on screen right now, like I said, miraculous, very interesting. If you've been watching a lot of Shedeur Sanders football, you would know about his interception look. You see, Dylan Gabriel had a pretty high turnover-worthy throw weight, and I think Shedeur had not as high of one, but what we saw is every tip pass, everything, it always ended up in the defender's hand. There was always magical ways, if not for Jerry Jeudy, just handing the ball off to a defender. It really seemed like Shedeur just hadn't had the best luck. Now, this time, our guy Marshall, one of the backup running backs, actually one of the pair of running backs with him and Raheem Sanders, who actually picked up a lot of slack, if y'all remember, at that back half of the season. The yards per carry was down. The offensive line was horrendous, but he found good ways to find some good offensive running schemes, and he found this opportunity to go ahead and haul in a touchdown from our guy too, man. But the story goes deeper than that, because sadly, our guy, Casey Conception, who's supposed to be the new number one, the second first-round pick for the Cleveland Browns in the 2026 NFL Draft, he had a bit of a drop issue. Stop me if you've heard this before. Let's go deeper into the actual pictures, analyze what Shedeur did in this tight window throw. Was it on him? Was it on the wide receiver? Let's check it out. Now, as you see, we've enhanced, we've zoomed, and we've also enhanced. And what you can see right here is we've got a ball placed by Shedeur. Now, if you know anything about grown, that's what his daddy called him, grown. I don't know if you know that, but that's what his daddy called him. If you know anything about if you know anything about Shedeur, what you would know is that around the red zone, he gets real busy, right? And this is not something that you're going to fault. This is not something that I'm worried about Shedeur having ball placement issues. I was never in fear when I saw the ball bounce around. I had a very, very strong suspicion, however, that it might have been Casey Conception. Look, drops are going to happen, but when you have drop issues tied to you, right, when you already have a 9.3% drop rate coming out of college into the NFL, when people are already talking about you not being able to fully haul in certain passes, it's not a great look when a pass right on your – I mean, that thing could have sliced his head off. You know what I'm saying? If he was Kung Lao and he was throwing a goddamn helmet at it, y'all know who Kung Lao is? Y'all know who Kung Lao is, right? He could have sliced his head off. That was right there in the bread basket. Not the bread basket, but the hands. You know what I'm talking about. You know what Tings is talking about, okay? So I think we can all rest assured that instead of calling this an accidental touchdown, really this should have been a touchdown the entire time. If our guy Casey Conception, you got that one on for a reason. Remember, Kevin Stefanski did not allow rookies to have single digits, and now you, KC, you got that uno on, right? Now, another man with an uno who had drop problems coming in to his rookie season was a Jamar Chase. Now, we can't compare KC to Jamar Chase. We can't compare one of the most explosive wide receivers in all history to KC, who is a very explosive former SEC wide receiver. But, man, the drops, they've got to – they can't do this. We can't do this, Casey. We're going to have to tighten it up. When 2 gives you a seed on the goal line, let's go ahead and hit pay dirt. Let's get paid, huh? Let's get paid. That's how we all get paid when you catch those, Casey. Now, I do want to point out that, of course, Shedeur wasn't the only man that got a few touchdowns. Again, look, some of y'all call me a Deshaun Watson guy, and I know y'all see the age that y'all see the new John. Y'all see the new. Some of y'all think I don't have hair. I do have hair, by the way. It's just, not the sexiest thing about me. But, yeah, man, I got the new digs. So, yes, I'm a real deal Texas fan. I'm in Houston, Texans. As you hear the loud, super F-350 trucks that are like, they're like 15 stories high. You can see them going across. They're like monster trucks out here. I'm really here. So, no, I am not a Deshaun Watson fan, but I know what he's capable of. I know what other teams understand he's capable of, and I know what the Browns are doing. Come on, man. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I see how things are being constructed. I see how only certain highlights are being put out there. Look, as two fans, you and me, as people who are fans of It Get Dangerous, I don't got my. Y'all don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm not my setup, so I don't have it on me. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta make it make sense. Sorry about that. I might have to recut that out. But what I was saying was, look, the skinny of it is, the Browns are positioning Deshuan to be the guy, right? He's a very talented player. He's $230 million investment. It's going to have to be used at some point. Jimmy Haslam is not going to allow that to happen. It's not going to allow it to go unchecked and them not get any sort of value out of a contract at this point that's unprecedented that we haven't seen any other place. So I think Tu's going to be able to get his chance to continue to develop, continue to take his next steps, and that's what the focus should be on, right? This is not a scenario like there was with Mr. Stefanski. This is not that scenario. This is not a place where Shedeur is going to get put on a shelf and rotted away. He's going to get the opportunity to get real-world first-team reps, as we saw. I don't know if you noticed, but he was throwing with KC. He was throwing with the ones. He was throwing with people who are going to really have impacts on this football team this calendar year. So, we can sit here and be upset about lemons or you know what I mean? We can make a little lemonade out of it. And I think that's what he's going to be able to do. So I think, just be patient on the situation. And like I said, it's not just one, there's many. It's not just one, there's many. And these are pretty simple touchdowns. Nothing crazy here. I really like this running back. I know I talked a little bit about earlier as he helped save Shedeur that tip pass and kind of help it to a touchdown. End of the season, man. I forgot his name. I know his last name is Marshall. Him and Raheem Sanders. Dylan Sampson was dealing with injury problems. Quinshon Judkins, obviously his season was cut short after he was having that great rookie season. And what you saw is this interesting 1-2 punch from these running backs. And I want to see that continue to go. I want to see what that can happen, because I think the tight end rooms for the Cleveland Browns as well as the running back rooms is one of the more I want to say underrated, but I think it's going to shock a lot of people. I think that the Browns have the opportunity to do what the New England Patriots did back in their prime, back in the 2011-2012 season, have a nasty dynamic duo at tight end. And then you look at the running back room, right? Dylan Sampson, Tennessee leader, Quinshon Judkins, who has Ole Miss records, SEC records, Big Ten records, national champion. So that's somebody that you're going to want a part of your team. And then you go to Rocket Sanders, SEC legend, right? Arkansas legends. And then this jump, you got flavors all over the place. If you want to have a dynamic team, while the QB is going to take a lot from Q. It don't matter if it's 2 or if it's 4. There's a lot of talent, and it keeps going back to why I think a lot of people are so excited about what this Browns team can do, because it looks very interesting, man. And here we go again. Dinkin and Duncan. And this is our guy, Carson Ryan. And I was talking about the tight ends. Carson Ryan has been showing up on OTAs. Look, it's just OTAs. They're just in shorts. I get it. And shout out to Deshaun Watson for looking like the best in shorts quarterback I think we've ever seen in the National Football League. Nobody practices quite like Deshaun Watson practices, and you got to give him an award for that. Right? You got to give him some sort of recourse when vehemently and consistently everybody reports that you're the guy that when the shorts come on, they can't even stand with you. So I got to respect that. I respect the hustle that you're putting out there, Mr. Deshaun. But shout out to Carson Ryan, former BYU tight end, former Utah tight end. I think he's going to be explosive. He's going to be lined up in that fullback position. As you see, this is a quick little, fullback in the flat. This is one of the most rudimentary plays in football. What I love about Todd Monken is you're going to see a lot of new age style, right, with old imagery, right? Play action, dink and dunk out the backfield. Let's get our fullback in space. Let's use a position that's undervalued. You're not expecting this fullback to be open. He's going to be butt naked open going into the end zone, and easy touchdowns, easy yards. That needs to be Todd Monken's moniker. This is a man who allowed Lamar Jackson to win another MVP. So you're going to hope for the best for this entire offense, especially for how putrid it's been for the last 2 years. Like I said, this isn't my traditional video where I can't put my videos up. I'm doing this on a Mac right now. I'm looking at my second screen is an iPad screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying my hardest. But what I can bring to you is a few quotes that I thought were interesting. I was grabbing them while I was, I've been doing a lot of driving, haven't been able to really scroll Twitter, but I saw a few things that were interesting. Thought they were thought-provoking, thought we could kind of swing it across you as we get into OTA Day 3. And then after that, because, I can only really record one day video today. I got other stuff to do. I got, you know what I mean? So we're also going to check in on Jimmy Horn Jr. We're going to check in on Titans OTAs as well as check in on the Vikings OTAs because Kyler Murray is spinning that football too. But I want to read this to you. So Travis Powell speaks about some pressure mounting for the one Deshaun Watson. He says, I keep telling everybody Deshaun Watson is a desperate person. If he doesn't become a starter, he will never play in the NFL ever again. You're going to get the best version of Deshaun Watson for the rest of the year because he has to. He has to perform really well to play to the NFL past this season. If he does play really well, I don't think he wants to be in Cleveland. There's been conflicting reports. As it stands right now, everybody's saying that, from the Haslam's point of view, from his point of view, that it could be a possibility that Deshaun Watson gets another contract extension. Now, I don't see that being formidable. My sources are G. Bush, and I know G. Bush got sources. The last thing he told me was that, hey, man, look, Deshaun Watson might not be a big fan of the Cleveland Brown fan base, especially as they have, celebrated multiple Achilles and shoulder ruptures and ruptures. Not the rapture. You ain't looking up for that. But ruptures and injuries and different things like that. Now, again, some people blame the off-the-field situations. But at the end of the day, look, Deshaun's a human. And he feels a certain way about things. And G. Bush echoed that point and said, look, I don't see how Deshaun Watson even has any desire to play for this fan base that did the things they did, speak about the way they speak about him, and I think that's interesting. So that conversation, I think needs to be put to the side because first we have to see if he's good enough, and kind of how Tyvis is pointing it out, and kind of alludes to the top of my conversation where Shedeur is not necessarily just battling Deshaun Watson, the football player. It's not as simple and black and white as that. It's the money. It's the unprecedented contract. It's everything else in between on top of a guy who's cornered. And if you know anything about cornered animals, that's when they get the most dangerous, right? When you're a cornered animal, you're the most violent, most dangerous. You're going to do anything you can to try to survive, and get out of that corner, get out of that bind. And Deshaun Watson, if he does want to get any $230 million contracts, any more of those, he's going to have to play some good football. But what I would counter with, right, and I think my counter argument would be like, hey, man, he got a $230 million fully guaranteed contract. Nobody else has been able to touch him, right? So I think that at some point, we have to be asking, does he want the money? Y'all can comment down below. Y'all let me know, do y'all want or is Deshaun Watson motivated by a future in the NFL? Or maybe he's just motivated by a redemption. So many people saying certain things, so many doubting him. I think it's a very interesting conversation. And like I promised y'all, here's our guy, Jimmy Horn Jr., doing it big. He's still in his 1-5. I was very mad because, we had the not Rico Dowdle, but obviously Rico Dowdle left, but somebody else came and took the 5. But I'm happy Jimmy Horn. It feels like he's fitting that 5 well. There he is putting a little work. Is that John Mechie too with him too? Shout out John Mechie. Bryce Young, hey, Big Triz, let me know how he's coming along. I'm excited to see what he's got going on. And this is a beautiful sight. You love to see this on OTA Day. You got Travis Hunter looking smooth, looking clean, looking like he's recovering quite well from his knee injury. Nothing major there. I'm going to do some separate videos on the separate teams. I know I got some CU aunties and some CU uncles. Y'all want to know, hey, what my people doing? Everybody's looking good. BJ Green is looking really good. Cam is looking really good. So we're going to do some separate videos on the OTAs. I just want to let y'all know and check in on you guys. Let y'all know I'm watching the OTAs. I'm keeping up. I know what's going on. I know the audio is a little rough. I just want to give y'all a little outside view. You know what I mean? Y'all, we out here. We poolside with it. Y'all see? Y'all see it? Y'all feel it? Okay. All right. Great. Well, y'all be blessed. Y'all be beautiful. Y'all do all that stuff. Comment down below how you feel. What type of videos you want to see? What teams y'all want to see? And please enjoy your Memorial Day week. And be blessed. Peace.